Today I'm going back to my hometown to join a special family event. One thing I like about working the night shift is that I can handle unexpected things during the day without asking for time off. The rain outside helped me fall asleep faster. The driver forgot to turn on the air conditioner, but I didn't even notice because the weather was already cool. I'm not used to sleeping in a car, so even though I slept for about 2 hours, I also got car sick and I wish we had stopped somewhere for breakfast so I could spend more time resting and talking with everyone. Whenever I'm with my loved one, I always have so many questions because I'm curious about their lives and their situations. I treasure these moments and truly enjoy being with them. My dad always tells me to have children because he's almost 70 years old. I keep forgetting his birthday, and maybe that's because I don't want to think about how old he's getting. I really needed to use the bedroom, but the door was broken. But I couldn't wait any longer. After that little adventure, we continue our journey and enjoy the beautiful scenery along the way. We don't travel together very often since my parents retired. They only have a small income and they don't like letting me pay for family trips. They always worry about spending my money. I slept for about 2 hours and I kept closing my eyes to rest because I have to work again tonight. We arrived earlier than expected. This was my uncle's house before he got married and he already left this place. I have 6 uncles and 2 aunts, and my mom is the oldest sister. She left her hometown in her 20s to build her own life. Since we arrived early, no one else was there yet. I walked around the old house trying to bring back precious memories. I noticed that someone in the family had been studying nail art. I hope they will success for the future. Today's gathering is called Đám Giỗ, the annual death anniversary of my grandfather. Every year, our whole extended family comes together to remember him and show our respect. We follow this tradition faithfully. Unlike some families, we don't invite a large number of guests because we prefer to keep it intimate and meaningful. My grandmother used to prepare and cook all the food for this occasion. Sadly, we lost her this year too. Instead of cooking ourselves, we hired someone to prepare the meal for everyone. The house is unchanged, but the people who make it feel like home are gone. Everything looks almost exactly the same, yet it feels like something important is missing. Looking at all the delicious food without being allowed to eat yet was torture, so I walked around the house again. There was one special corner that made everyone proud. An old electric fan was still there. It has been with our family for decades, quietly witnessing so many memories. Later, I walked through another part of the garden to see what was growing there. My uncle searched for some fresh fruit to give me. After that, we visited our family's cemetery to pay our respects to our ancestors. My mom took me to my grandmother's grave. She stood there for a long time, holding back her tears. I didn't know what to say, so I stayed beside her in silence and let her feel whatever she needed to feel. Afterward, we went to my uncle's house. Along the way, my mom taught me many things about gardening, such as how to use fertilizer, remove dead flowers, and save water by making small basins around the trees. I really enjoyed learning, even though I was fighting to stay awake because I had only slept for 2 hours. My grandmother put so much effort into this garden. For many years, it provided enough income to support the whole family. There's still so much I don't understand, like how to deal with different insects or prevent plants from becoming moldy. Right now, all I really care about is tasting the fresh fruit and learning the best season for each one. I also noticed bamboo supports and an automatic watering system. My mom admitted she doesn't know everything about gardening, but once she started talking about it, she couldn't stop. I think the garden brings back so many memories of my grandmother. Being the oldest sister is extremely difficult. She has always had to be strong while remaining calm and kindness. As her younger brothers and sister grew older, they naturally became more independent and didn't always listen to my mom the way they did when they were children. Even so, my mom never blamed any of them. Whenever someone made a mistake, she was always the first person to understand their situation and defend them. She loved her siblings more than herself and would do whatever it took to help whenever everyone was in trouble. I grew up in another city, so I didn't visit this place very often. Even so, I've always had a close relationship with my relatives. My grandmother passed away last year. She was an independent woman who took care of the family's finances. She also had her own garden, but now everything feels empty without her. I don't have any experience with gardening, but I want to learn because I want to do something that would make her proud. If anyone has tips on how to take care of a garden like this, I really appreciate your advice. Everyone in the family has their own job right now, so only 3 or 4 people still work in the garden. Someone once told me that if you're not rich, it's because you're lazy. I don't believe that's true. That's not the case. My uncles have always worked incredibly hard. They wake up before sunrise every day, but they never achieve what people usually call success. They spend most of their lives working on this land, yet the miracle they hoped for never came. I was curious about this, but my mom didn't know what it called, and we were laughed at each other. While we were walking, a dog suddenly stared at us as if we were thieves. My mom has been bitten by dogs several times before, so she decided it was time for us to leave. Before leaving the garden, I took many photos for my mom. She loved them and smiled so much. She enjoys posting photos on her page as a hobby, and seeing her happy made me happy too. Not every plant belonged to my grandmother, some belonged to our neighbors, so we didn't want to wander too far and invade anyone's privacy. At one point, my high heel got stuck in the sand, but thankfully nothing happened. Before joining the main gathering, I also took part in the family's traditional ceremony. The food was delicious. I spent almost an hour enjoying the meal before taking a nap for a few hours, so I have enough energy to work my night shift later. Before we left, I tasted what might be the best fruit I've ever eaten. On the way home, we stopped at a rest area for a few minutes before continuing the trip. I explained to my parents that I wouldn't be able to visit home very often because of my work schedule. They understood, even though I know they wish I could stay longer. It was finally time to head back to work. I took a shower and put on some perfume to help myself feel refreshed. and get ready after such a long day. Don't take a shower late like me if you had nothing emergency. I couldn't stop thinking about my grandmother's garden. It wasn't just a place full of trees and fruit anymore. It had become a reminder of her hard work, her strength, and the love she gave to our family. My grandmother left behind something far more valuable, a garden, a family full of memories, and a reason for me to keep moving forward.